Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon Wong Pickups.
Hey, it's me, Todd Novak. We are super happy you are with us right now listening to our little podcast, the Little Big Podcast.
That's right.
The podcast that could. all the diminutive terms for this thing.
That's right.
No, for reals, for legits. We love doing this. We're super happy that you're with us. So we're going to talk about guitars and guitar stuff today, which is our favorite thing to talk about. To the woe of many, I think.
Maybe a little bit of nonsense too, right?
Yeah, probably some nonsense, depending on which shirt you have.
That's true.
It is true. So we're nearing up on Christmas. We got a couple things that we want to bring up.
There he is.
Yes, there is Santa Claus himself. One of the first things I want to mention is, so we got these amazing barefoot buttons from Barefoot Buttons. And Tony's got them right here. And they have our logo
Guitar knobs
on them, and it looks wicked cool.
Whoa! These are like anodized, cool color aluminum in them.
Exactly.
Aluminium,
Yes,
as they say
and they
in the
are.
UK.
We have some for analog pedals as well as the soft touch digital.
Ooh,
very
Yeah.
cool, man.
with Allen keys too.
They are different. In case you are ordering them yourself, make sure you select the right one because they are a different diameter on the inside
Right.
hole. So what I'm going to do is on Christmas Day, I'm going to pull 6 names.
I think you should do it at midnight.
I don't know if I can do it at midnight. Around Christmas time-ish. Christmas Day. I'm going to make it the 25th because there's, you open all your presents and you're like, oh, well, I guess I opened all my presents.
If I only had one more.
I'm going to pull 6 names out of a stocking and award those on Instagram somehow.
Somebody
And
might
how
win.
are those people going to be able
They
to
gotta
get
go
their
to-
name in the stocking?
They got to go to Instagram, and we will. All you need to do, I'm going to put up a post for this. It should be up by the time you hear this. We're going to put up a post, and you just need to tag a friend. That's all you got to do. Just tag a friend in the comments, and make sure you like our page and Barefoot Buttons page.
Yep. You'll win a major reward.
I'm not going to make you repost. I'm not going to do all that stuff. You just got to like both of ours and tag a friend. Yeah.
Wow,
That's it.
that sounds very easy.
I want to get these awesome little products in the people's hands, but I also want to get some more people looking at our stuff, not our, at the Instagram. The Instagram.
That's a different podcast.
Yes. Well, we've got a few other things happening before we get into the guitar business. Tony.
I've been told to keep this brief
Yes.
several times, and very seldom do I. But I understand there is a way that people out there who are listening and want to participate in some way and
Yes,
want
sir.
to help support a program, a podcast, if you will.
Yes, yeah, I
such
will.
as the Guitar Knobs.
Yes.
They can actually go on and become a patron.
Where can they go?
I think it's patreon.com / the Guitar Knobs.
That's it.
And there are some wonderful
Thank you, Tony.
incentives
Hey, man.
that you can do. Oh, no, you wait. Don't you interrupt me.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Yep.
See what you want.
You've heard the spiel.
Give what you can what you give.
Right.
If you give enough at the end of each episode, you get to put your name on the thing.
Yeah.
That's a registered trademark
That's-
of Jared Brandon.
Yes, something like that. So, yeah, indeed. And we got a couple new ones that we're going to read off at the end of the program. Which
Thank
we're
you so much.
Very, very happy.
I mean,
with.
it lets us know that people are out there. They appreciate what we do.
We really honestly do appreciate it.
And we really honestly do use it and need it for the benefit of this show and for nothing else. This is not lining our pockets in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Legal, blah, blah.
Member FDIC.
Yeah, however somebody wants to do that. Well, I also want to mention that we've got this really cool headphones on our ears from Grado headphones. Thank
These
you,
are
Grado.
awesome.
These are fantastic. Check out gradolabs.com to check out your own. I actually got a couple emails asking about them.
Oh, cool.
They're the Prestige series.
They are. Hey, I want to point you to the Potent Parings video on Reverb.com featuring Troy Van Leeuwen of Queens of the Stone Age, one of my personal favorites. Love that band and love the style of tones that he's getting. This particular video runs through about 12 unique pedals that they use in combination to showcase some of his songs, how he puts them together. And so he actually basically just watches.
And he critiques.
He critiques it. And it's pretty interesting. I think we have all wanted to emulate specific songs or artists. And this idea is pretty cool. Actually, I went to try to go get one or two of those pedals. I'm just saying. Go to reverb.com/videos. And you can find it there. I think there's also some available on youtube.com as well.
Yes.
Under the Reverb channel. And
hey, Troy, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. I was so inspired by said video that's what we're doing our episode on. Isn't that right, boys?
That's right.
Yes, Potent Parings.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of a different spin on it, but I think the general idea is there.
Are you from Canada, eh?
An idea. But first, everyone, let's get on with what happened in our music worlds this week, our guitar worlds specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Jared, you sound hyped up on this. Do it.
I am. So I have an electric guitar. It is a black Les Paul copy. And love the way it feels, love the way it plays. And as of now, I love the way it sounds because what I had done to it was I had all the electronics taken out and I did a complete overhaul on the wiring harness. I took some really good
Duct tape?
Yes, I used duct tape. No, I didn't use duct tape, man. You're confusing me. I got some really good potentiometers, other known as pots, and they were a pretty good brand. And I did a 50s style wiring harness.
What kind did you use? Just out of curiosity.
I can't think of the brand name off the
CTS?
top. Yes, CTS 500K.
You know, and the reason I bring this up is I've tried some of the Emerson pots. And it's another brand. They're basically CTS pots, but they're to Emerson specs.
You can buy. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're basically a tighter.
They're a better quality.
Yes, higher quality.
Yeah,
they're to Emerson specs. Emerson also makes wiring harnesses. They make special caps, different things like that.
There's a place where I know you can buy the really good CTS pots like that.
Yes,
and so anyway, these are not the super high quality CTS pots, but they're fair.
They're certainly a step up from the alphas.
Okay, they were alphas.
Hold on, real quick. Why would someone want to get higher quality pots? So if I'm look, I'm just posing this question. If I'm looking on like StewMac or Amazon or whatever, and I want to venture into rebuilding my wiring kit, why do pots matter, guys?
Durability, and they're spec'd out closer to what they're supposed to be.
Okay, what does that mean?
Tighter tolerances. So in other words, like I think the average pot is plus or minus 10% of the actual value, whereas some of these tighter ones are probably closer to 5%.
So when we say tighter, what does that mean? Closer
to the advertised or the actual value of the potentiometer.
Okay, so if it says 500K,
it's going to be closer to 500K.
It's going to be closer to 500K.
It's not going to be 471.
It's going to be 475 to 525 instead of 450 to 550.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Those are big numbers.
I know this isn't the potentiometer podcast, but this is one of those things that I think
could be the podcast.
Well, I think you brought up a very
man.
valid question. And it's good you brought that up.
Well, and the other thing, a lot of less expensive guitars have what are called mini pots in.
Oh, yeah. They're small.
And they're smaller. I've always had an
Chintzy.
issue with those because of the, I don't know, what I call a full-size pot seems to have a better sweep. In other words, when you go from 0 to 10, there seems to be...
it's a wider sweep.
Yeah.
There's more there.
Yeah, because
it's the same concept of it's a wider, faster sweep, and it's the same concept of an analog tape. The faster it goes, the better audio that's going to come out. But the slower it goes, it's just going to sound like crap.
Interesting.
Well, that's one way to put it.
That might be a little far-fetched, but daggone it, come on.
No, I mean,
throw me a bone.
When you think about how a potentiometer works, it's a variable resistor. Yeah. So basically, when I call sweep is going from the minimum value to the maximum value,
Right.
And with a larger size, all the guts that are inside that, there seems to be, I don't know, what do you call it? More meat, whatever. There just seems to always be. Every time I've replaced a mini pot with a full-size pot, it always seems to react better, sound better.
Mm-hmm.
There's more, it seems like you have more room in your volume. You have a wider
It seems to me
choice.
that when you can pick up a guitar or even an amp. Actually, when I got my Dave Harris amp and I went to, this is a difference, and no knock on Vox or anything like that, but I when I had my Vox, I would turn turn the knob and the pot would just go whip, 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 where it would just whip real quick, right?
Yeah.
And that always made me like, I didn't like that because I was like, man, if I just bump this thing, these knobs
Especially
are
if you were out on a concert or
And that I think that
And I got
the tighter tolerances mean from 0 to 10 is actually a little more.
Well, I don't know if
accurate.
it comes into the actual quality of these things, but when I got my next amp head, I went to go twist the knobs and it was like a heavy turn, like it was a resisting turn. It didn't.
I know
just
exactly
flip.
what
It
you're
just
feeling.
went
It's
and I was like, oh, look at that. That's how it's supposed to feel.
It felt like it felt hydraulic almost.
Exactly.
Felt nice and tight and that's quality, people.
Yeah. Anyways, just curious. I know that others are too.
So mine are. I went from really bad potentiometers to middle of the road, pretty good. Not the best, but just average good. I'm not going to worry about them anymore. And I also replaced the pickups. I put a set of Brandon Wound pickups in them.
Who makes those?
Brandon Wound pickups.
Oh.
That would be me. And the guitar sounds way different. It sounds more clear. It sounds fatter. And it's a big improvement. And that's everything combined. I'm not saying the pickups made it super good and only. It's everything. It's the whole wiring harness.
Package total.
That is correct. I don't even know what you said, to be honest. But anyway, that's what I did, and I'm very happy I did that.
That's cool.
And one more thing. I also found out that the cap on that Les Paul copy is plywood.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I don't care because it sounds so good.
Well, I think a lot of those Ibanez, Arias, a lot of from
The
that
copies from the
late
70s.
60s, early 70s era,
Yeah.
they actually took, instead of having a carved piece of maple, they actually molded a piece of plywood.
Yeah.
And so you'll find a lot of those, and they look really cool. But if you ever pull the pickups or whatever, it's this big hollow.
I mean, it's
spot.
like it's one of the cheapest guitars I have, but I would totally feel comfortable taking it out and playing a live gig in front of 500, to 1,000 people. It's a great guitar.
What about 1100?
Yep.
Wow.
But I don't think I'll ever get that opportunity. But so that's what I did, man. I improved one of my cheapy guitars, and I love it. I
Nice.
plug it in all the time now.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Excellent. Tony.
Well, this past weekend and this week we have a reunion show up in Youngstown, Ohio, at a club called Cedars, which is back in my day, back in the 80s.
Cedar, is it Cedars?
Yes,
Cedars.
Cedar like the tree.
Okay.
But there was a club in Youngstown downtown that we played. It was kind of the alternative punk club. And so every year, a bunch of us around Christmas time or sometimes around Thanksgiving get together, and we just, some of us have played in bands together, some of us have not. But we're doing some really fun things this year. There's some really, from various eras of Cedars are actually playing that night. And Todd, you'll be glad to know that we're going to do Los Angeles by X.
Nice, one of my favorites.
Great song.
Love that band.
And we've got a bunch of other songs that we're going to do.
Zoom to call me back, but
yes.
that's okay.
Where is Billy Zoom?
He may have missed his call.
Chilling out in a recliner.
Yeah,
he's earned it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was. So I went up to Youngstown. We're in Columbus. Youngstown's 2.5 hours away. And got to jam with some old friends.
That's great.
Relearn and then learn some new songs. And just had a quick practice. And then, of course, a couple of the guys, we got some drummer coming in from New York and a bass player coming in from DC. So we haven't practiced with them yet.
Oh,
so it's one of those.
It's one of those.
Yeah, one of those 5 minutes before the show. Oh,
Quick
this is what we're playing? Okay, go.
Yeah.
Go.
Nice.
So
That's what Jimmy Page did with Aerosmith before the Hall of Fame gig that they did for the
I think
Hard
that's
Rock
what most of
Gold.
those dudes do. They just get up there.
I think so.
They're like, Jimmy Page says, we're playing this. And they're like, okay, we're going to do it. And then they play it, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's how it sounds at your gig.
Surprisingly, and not to brag or anything, but it always comes together. I mean, it usually sounds like, doo-doo, the week or two before.
Yeah.
And we got it pretty good.
Is this after a few beers or?
Usually it involves either that or some fine bourbon, which is the nectar of the throat gods.
All right. Okay.
Nectar of the throat gods.
There it is.
I spent a couple days this week working on my friend's 2 guitars that he bought on Black Friday.
What?
From a brand called Epiphone. He got the Les Pauls, the 2 of the $99 Les Pauls. And he was just super, super jazzed about them. He got the blue one and the yellow one. And everybody saw these, kind of come out. There was a bunch of ruckus, I think, around a couple shows previously where they were going to release them, and all of the chatter on the internet about $100 guitars and rah, rah, right?
What was that again?
Robble, robble. There's hey, they're cool little punk sticks, like for sure, right? And but when you're paying $100 for guitar, there are a couple things that you're going to get $100 worth. Now, that said, the idea that you have a nicely painted guitar that works, that is, pretty cool looking for $99, it's still a pretty good deal, right?
I think what's really cool about those guitars is you can actually take them.
Yep.
And if you want to upgrade pickups and tuning machines and electronics,
you should upgrade them. That's the lesson here. What I did was I spent some time on the frets, just kind of finishing up a little bit because they were rather edgy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, on the side.
You need some.
Yeah, it feels like you're
after playing that.
Yeah, it feels like you're rubbing your fingers across a cheese grater.
Yep. So I just took some
I
time.
love that feeling. That's a great feeling.
Dialed those in. Gave the. It had an awful lot of plastic, like the Saran wrap plastic on it. And the thing is, we've all seen these at secondhand stores or Music Go Round or Craigslist or something. You get a guitar and you're like, you took the plastic off the pick guard, but you didn't take the screws out.
Oh.
So then all the little tufts of plastic.
Yes.
There's a
It's
ton
around the screws
there's
and
a
the
ton
knobs.
of screws on these things. There's a lot of screws.
Yep.
And so I had to undo the pickups. I had to do undo anything that had plastic on it, take it all apart, and then pull it all off. I spent time doing that, and then had to, adjust the pickup height. And one of the things that I was not thrilled about that, although I guess it could lend itself to this particular sound of these, is that these have a particularly high action. And there's not a lot you can do about it because the neck angle to the actual bridge and the actual height of the pickups dictate that the pickups are a little farther away from the strings than I would like, because I couldn't lower the bridge down without getting there's high spots on the frets. The frets aren't like totally dialed in.
What kind of pickups are in? Or is it like a P90?
These are just single coils, but
and you can't get them high. You can't raise them higher.
They're pushed all the way to the tippy top, but I couldn't lower the action anymore where I would like it because there's too many high spots on the frets, and I didn't want to, frankly, invest the time on let me get all the, it's like spend 6 hours on frets on $100 guitar. It doesn't, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, well, he's going to have higher action than I'd like. But,
it's good training. It makes your fingers stronger.
It's not a deal breaker or anything, and he's not, doing, arpeggios and stuff on it. And he's just playing some punk rhythms on him.
Cool.
That's fine. So did that to both of those, put some SIT strings on it. Call us. And, there you go. It's kind of fun.
What gauge did you put on those, just out of curiosity?
Super light, extra light, ultra
Super light? There's another problem.
Yeah, but if you have high action, though, and if you have, really, high tension strings, that's going to pull that neck even more.
Yeah, but you should be able to drop the bridge then.
No,
because it wasn't.
The geometry is
the geometry.
Funky.
Well, it's the geometry and it's the high frets. Because I had it to where I would like it, right? I thought, okay, perfect. This is going to be great. It's not too far away from the pickups. And then, dun, 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 and I'm like, oh, inevitably I always hit a fret that was out of balance too high.
So they need leveled.
They do.
Yeah.
But you're not, it's a $100 guitar. You're not going to get that.
So the $100 guitar needs $100.
You can spend $300 to have it plecked. Yes.
Right. Well, a $100 guitar needs a $100 setup.
Yeah. So anyways, that was my week.
Cool. It took you a whole week to do that.
Yeah. Not only did you have one, but you had two of these to set up.
Yes, I had two of them to set up. So after the first one, I was like,
So which color did you like better?
Well, the hilarious thing is one says vintage and one says SP, and they're both identical. So I really don't know what the difference is. But look, hey, if this is your first guitar and if that's all you got, man, this is a good little deal.
Well, yeah. There are plenty of really good starter instruments out there.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of usually used instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find some really great deals out there.
You know what they used in the 50s? Like Les Paul Juniors, which go for like $4,000 to $5,000 now.
Yeah,
Those are student guitars. But anyways, we digress. Hey, let's get into the mix, shall we, gentlemen?
Let's do it, man.
All right.
Let's do this.
Potent pairings. Potent pairings.
Let's do it.
Penelope played her potent pairings on the peninsula with her plectrum, pressing her plimsoll pedal.
Do you know what a plimsoll is, by the way?
Yeah, it was a shoe.
Tennis shoes.
Yeah.
That was British slang for tennis shoes.
Yeah. Okay, that's totally useless information. Thanks a lot, Tony.
Hey, you never know. It might come up in a trivia contest.
Okay, here we go, guys. This is what we're doing. Our assignment for potent pairings was to give each of us a choice of what we're calling an A and a B rig. Not necessarily, it's just two rigs. We get two choices, two rigs. Each rig,
pair of rigs. A potent pair.
It's a potent pair. With each rig, we get a guitar, an amp, and a pedal.
Sweet.
Yes. Potent pairings. Here we go. Who wants to go first?
Jared says yes. No. I'll go first.
Okay, go, Tony.
All right. So the way I understand that this works is that we want to emulate a particular sound or sounds, in this case, a pair of sounds, a pair of potent sounds that we would like to somehow replicate. Ish. So one of my favorite guitarists is Pete Townsend. I kind of equivocate, that's a big word, with Pete Townsend with Paul Weller sometimes from the Jam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got a very similar.
I guess so.
I mean, Pete has, especially in the early days, was a very great rhythm guitar player who later became a really great lead player.
Yeah.
And I think Weller kind of fell into that same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And an interesting part of it is
they were both like the people's guys too. They were the people's champions.
They were the underdogs.
Yeah.
So my A-rig is going to involve probably my favorite era of Townsend is the SGs that he used to play.
Yeah, the specials.
And the Rickenbackers that he played in the very early days through either Selmer or Vox amps.
Did he break those?
He broke a lot of them.
Oh, man. Even the Rickenbackers?
Oh, yeah. There's one of my favorite Pete pictures is he's in the foreground and there's like these broken Rickenbackers behind him. It's just, if only we could have those back. But so I've always liked that sound, and really
describe that sound for the.
It's chimey, but it's still meaty, and I think that really the only way that I've found to get that kind of sound is out of a Vox or a Vox-ish amp, like a Dr. Z or anything else that has basically the EL84 tubes, the output tubes. And there's also a lot of compression that's involved, and sometimes it's within the amp itself. So for Rig A, I'm going to go, even though I dearly love Rickenbackers, I'm going to go with an SG Special.
Wow.
Through a compressor.
Now that's the single.
Oh yeah, the P90. Yeah,
P90.
like late '60s.
Dog ear P90.
Late 60s?
Yeah.
I have a 64.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know.
He's getting higher and higher.
Help me.
Literally.
So, but to me, there's the quintessential.
What color?
Oh well, of course it's going to be cherry red, or
the only color that came.
Yeah, that would be it.
That was it. Cherry.
Or a nice burgundy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the P90 equipped SG.
But you can make it any color you want. You don't have to have exactly his stuff.
No, but I mean, to me, that's
all right.
That's the quintessential guitar, and we'll run that through a compression pedal of your choice.
Well, it's your choice. This is your jam, man.
It's my jam. I'm going to go with the Jangle Box.
Okay.
Because I have one. And I love that. It sounds great with a Rickenbacker. For those who don't know what a Jangle Box is, it is the circuit that is in the Roger McGuinn Rickenbacker guitar in pedal form.
Jared and I just looked at each other.
They just looked at each other. Do you know who Roger McGuinn is?
I do not know. I'm the big dummy.
That's the first time I've ever heard McGuinn.
Roger McGuinn from the Byrds.
Oh.
Okay. Nope. I mean, I know the Byrds. I'm just not familiar with
David
Roger
Crosby.
Oh,
Yeah, say the Byrds. I think of David Crosby.
Tisk.
Yeah, I wasn't really into that.
We got some learning to do, boys.
I'm just saying I wasn't.
So, okay, well, anyhow.
Most of that music I really wasn't into.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, it's
the older fellows are rolling their eyes at us right now. You know.
Yeah, I think
I'm rolling my.
I
mean, jeez, oh man.
Anyways.
How do I get out of this place? So anyhow, the McGuinn played Rickenbackers primarily in the Byrds, 12-string. He's the king of the 12-string Rickenbackers.
Yeah.
Are you familiar?
Totally.
Is it getting just this magic?
I'm with you.
8 miles high
Hey, Mr. Ted. Anyways.
So anyhow, yeah. So we had a little segue
Still
there.
don't like that stuff.
Boy, oh boy.
All right. Rig number.
I'm not done with my rig yet. So anyhow, the Jangle Box is the compressor that is found in the Roger McGuinn model of the Rickenbacker. It's a great compressor. Really brings a Rick to life. And I'm going to go into a Vox AC30.
All right.
That's to me that sound. It's perfectly captured.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Janglylicious.
Okay, Janglylicious. What's your B rig?
My B rig is going to. This is going to freak you out.
Potent pairing number 2.
Potent pairing number 2. It's going to be Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols.
Hey, now we're talking.
Whoa.
You didn't expect that, did you?
I didn't. That came out of left field.
The people that there's people that I play the first Sex Pistols album to, and they just can't believe how tight the Pistols were.
Yeah.
Now live was a different story because they brought Sid Vicious in, but back when Glenn Matlock was the bass player, I mean you had drums, bass, and guitar, and just about every cut on Nevermind the Bollocks, here's the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
It's just super, super tight.
Right.
And they sound great. And that guitar tone is what I cut my teeth on.
Yeah.
And the guitar that Steve Jones played was a Les Paul Custom. It belonged to, it was a white one. It belonged to Sylvain from the New York Dolls. But that sound, that Les Paul Custom sound, or Les Paul for, any Les Paul through a Marshall rig is still, it's the sound that tickles the cockles of my soul.
I like it.
Then that'll go for Mick Ronson, same kind of thing, man. It's just that it sounds right. And that's my B rig.
I love it.
And quite honestly, I don't even need a pedal with that one. That's going straight. I'm bypassing the pedal. I'm breaking the mold. I'm going Les Paul into Marshall.
Well, in that case, wouldn't you use a volume pedal?
Why are you breaking the mold? You mean your own mold?
No, the whole mold about this guitar pedal amp.
Oh, okay.
Trifecta.
So you're not doing a pedal.
And then I just.
You know what? I'll take that back. I'm gonna put a wah in the middle.
Okay.
And as Mick Ronson used
volume wah.
No. He would keep the wah on and find the sweet spot on the wah.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's a lot of pedals out now that'll do that, and I don't mean auto wahs either. People.
So there you go. That's rig A, rig B.
Excellent. I like it. I'm a huge fan of early punk, man.
Not bad.
I love it. But you know what? Little editorial. The Sid Vicious thing.
Yes.
I just want to go on. I've thought about chiming up on Instagram, but then you get bombarded by everybody yelling at you and stuff. I'm over the way that people glorify him and his everything that he brought.
Well, I think what Sid brought was the attitude.
That attitude was there in spades before that. It took it totally over the top to the point where it was now a joke, almost like a joke band. You know what I mean? My issue with that is just when people refer to the Pistols and the music that was happening at that time, he's become the poster child for that.
Yeah.
So that's just my own.
I think you raise a very good point.
Some time glorifying the people that actually wrote the music and played the music and made something happen. That's all.
All right. Well, that's good. And that's why, I mean, I never saw the Pistols back in the 70s. I'm not quite that old.
Yeah, neither am I.
But I did get to see them.
Learned an awful lot about it. And
they had a reunion tour.
Yeah.
And I saw them up in Cleveland, and it was really the original lineup. And they were just great.
Yeah.
It was at Nautica up there in Cleveland. It was an outdoor show. We had a great time. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, listen, everybody, don't beat me up over this. I'm just trying to be honest. It's like, when we glorify things that are, maybe misdirected. That's what I feel like. It's just sort of misdirected fame, a little bit. I'm just like, yeah, there's some actual people who really contributed a lot to that, and I don't think that.
Go to the Guitar Knobs Facebook group and voice your opinion on what Todd's saying.
Yeah, like to know.
Pummel him. He doesn't like stainless steel frets either.
Okay, Jared, what do you got? Sorry for my editorial, everybody, but it seemed like the time to do it.
I enjoyed it. So
I don't think you did.
I did. So Rig A, I want to hit like a Mick Ralph tone, and for those who don't know who Mick Ralph is, I know you guys are like, who are you guys? No, man, Mick Ralph was the original lead guitar player for the band Bad Company. And I like a lot of Bad Company songs, most of them. There's a few that, I don't, but I like the sound of his guitar more than anything, especially the live stuff that you can hear on YouTube. And I don't know how he gets that flangey sound. I don't know if his amps are out of phase with each other because they would connect, 2 or 3 stacks together, back in the 70s, early 70s like that. Mm-hmm. But just go back and listen to the, some of the live concerts they did, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And that would consist of like a 59 style Les Paul. Of course, you're not going to get your hands on a real one unless you're rich. But, just
he said that with such disdain.
Like a rich gusto. No, man, get yourself just a normal Gibson Les Paul. You use a flanger. And don't turn the flanger up. And just you wanted a subtle flanger sound. And
would you put Brandon wound pickups in that Les Paul?
You can, if you'd like.
And probably a pickguardian pickguard.
Yeah,
there's your ads,
and then go listen to the Guitar Knobs afterwards. Yeah. Anyway, get a Marshall stack or even a half stack, but that would be my Rig A, and it's actually that is a pretty common guitar amp combo that a lot of people use.
What Marshall would you go with?
Get a Plexi, just get an old style, something really old from the 70s.
Okay. I mean,
not even just get a 50 watt Plexi.
Okay.
Don't get the 100 watt. You'll blow your ears away.
Okay.
Seriously. But
do you have a particular pedal that you're going with? I know you said flanger, but
yeah, the Midnight.
The Midnight.
Yeah. By our buddy Mike, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Red House Electronics.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's a brand new pedal. That thing's awesome.
Yeah, I bought that pedal to get that sound.
Nice.
And I've achieved it, and it's a fantastic pedal, fantastic sound. It's just one of my guilty pleasures, man.
It says fantastic on it.
Right. It just sound like Mick Ralph. It's a guilty pleasure. Who in the heck out there is
when I hear that said Mick Ralph?
Mick Ralph. It's just his name, man.
The most unrock and roll name I've ever heard.
Is that something you get at McDonald's?
I actually saw.
I'll take a McRalph with cheese.
It sounds like something you would do after you eat McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh man. Jeez. Okay.
So
anyway, what's your B rig there, buddy?
No, man. Still on the A. A little fun fact about Mick Ralph and about Ralphing is that he doesn't like airplane rides. So he'll only tour with the original Bad Company band if they're around where he lives. He won't fly anywhere else.
Will he take a bus?
Yeah, I suppose. Even though flying is safer than driving. Anyway.
Statistically, that is.
Well, yeah. So, Rig B would be it's something I already have, and inspired by Jimmy Page's acoustic rig that he used in the 70s, when he did the acoustic set. And what I use is I have a Kopp stringed instrument guitar. That's the brand. It was custom made, and I had a piezo.
By Denny Kopp.
By Denny Kopp, yep. He's out of... Port Clinton area, and he put a piezo in the bridge, and it just sounds so clean. It's so fantastic. I said it again. Damn it.
It's okay.
Anyway, it sounds really great. Now I
Good.
sound like Jimmy Fallon. And I run that through an Acoustasonic, a Fender Acoustasonic.
Oh, nice.
It's really cool. If you look at the speaker structure, they're all smaller speakers. When you look at the grill, it's a big, large grill, and it looks like, it's got two 12s.
It's big and large.
It's got a 15.
Is that the one with the side fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
It throws the sound around the room, and it's got a bunch of effects on it and all that kind of thing. But one of my favorite pedals is a Holy Grail reverb pedal. And I've mentioned that in plenty of other podcasts. But you can't go wrong with that
other
pedal.
people's podcasts? What's up with that?
No way,
We
man.
had a contract.
No way, man. I promise. This podcast. So yeah, that's rig B.
So he's got an electric rig and an
Yeah,
acoustic
an
rig.
electric and acoustic.
And
Dancing days are indeed here again.
Yes, they
the
are.
cool thing about the Denny Cop guitar is that I could actually switch it to electric guitar.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to do that through the
You let me borrow that
Acoustasonic.
really, really early on when we were just getting to know each other, and you're like, "Here's my multi-$1,000 guitar. Why don't you hang out with it?" I was like, "Man, I don't want to do this."
That one?
I don't know. I got to bring it by. It's actually one of the coolest, best guitars I have.
Huh. Is it like a true acoustic or is it
No, it's a hollow body.
It is a hollow body,
Okay.
but it's probably solid through the bridge.
Okay.
But it's a
Okay.
semi-hollow.
It is
I think I have seen
a
that.
very
Yeah.
expensive, very nicely handmade piece of wood.
It's artwork, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I picked it up. I'm like, yep. Man, put it back down because I didn't want to.
The cool
You're
thing about
responsible
those
for it.
are also is you could actually knock it over on a stand and it'll fall to the floor. The neck will not break and it will not go out of tune.
I want to try
I dare
that.
you to try that.
I'm
yeah.
going to try that.
I already did on that guitar I just described. Actually, my little brother did. And he's like, huh? He knocked it over accidentally. So he's like, huh? I was like, don't worry about it, Joe. Don't worry about it because it's probably still in tune.
It is. It is a very solid instrument. I will vouch for that.
Yeah.
Like 'cause when you look at it, it doesn't. It looks. I don't want to say dainty, but it looks fragile.
Fragile.
It does.
It's from Italy.
But it's not.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
How about you, Todd?
I'm gonna.
Let's
I'm
have your rig
been
A,
waiting
rig
for
B.
this.
I'm gonna school you guys right now
Here it is.
with my encyclopedic knowledge of this paper in front of me. All right, two of my favorites. I know I go on and on about fuzz pedals and stuff like that, and I love that big heavy sound. Not necessarily all the time, but I do. That is one of the things that I do really like. But at the heart of my guitar brain lies punk, early punk. And so I need a punk rig, and I'm thinking that it's probably somewhere between Mick Jones and Johnny Thunders. So I'm going with I can choose any color I want. So I want a white Les Paul special double cutaway
Okay.
with a single P90.
You know, they didn't make them in white.
I know, that's why I said I could have any color I want.
Okay.
So I could make that now.
I would make that happen for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Tony.
I'm a purist. I can't help it.
Yeah. But I would have it. I would have it distressed. I was actually probably
Age gold hardware?
No, they never came with gold hardware.
Anyways,
Did though.
thanks for playing.
Yes, they. No, not
Yes.
studios. No.
Guarantee.
No, mine. I used to have one.
How much? How much you want to bet?
Anyways, this is my thing now.
Oh,
I would also require a vintage Rat pedal. I play a Rat right now, but it's not a vintage one, so I'd want a vintage one because why not?
you know, it's sad that you call a Rat pedal vintage.
Well,
When you're as old
the
as
bigger
me.
box Proco,
I know. I mean, it's just, I hear vintage related to the word rat. It makes me feel much older.
A not new one, an original run rat. Ugh. Anyways, I'm going to play that through a well-stained Fender Twin. Yes.
Are you man enough to handle a Fender Twin?
I am. I can't say that with a straight face. It's terrible that I can't do that. But to me, that sounds like a big bad mess of a rock and roll.
That's and then like that
like
was
a
a Johnny
step below.
Thunders rig.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he used a rat pedal, but he
Yeah,
probably
and I mean
used.
so we're people are like, where's Mick Jones fit in that? Well, he played a double cutaway for quite some time.
Yeah.
He ran his through Marshall.
Yeah.
But
twins were commonly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean they were just loud.
Yeah. Joe
They're
played a twin for a long time.
loud
Joe
guitar.
Yeah, my dad had
amps.
one of those. He said they blow your eardrums away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's what I intend to do with this rig. Hurt you.
Yeah, it's a reissue.
Jared is showing Tony.
It's not a reissue. It's a normal, everyday Gibson studio with gold hardware.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that at all. You have hijacked my thing.
I'm sorry, just edit
You
it.
pulled up a Les Paul Studio with gold hardware, which has zero to do with my punk rock rig.
You'll edit over it.
Dirty. Okay. Potent pairing number 2. I also love. I hate the word because it goes against. Half of it goes against everything that I like in music, which
Depeche
is
Mode.
pop. But if you want to lump it all together, Britpop. I love early. Give me the Stone Roses. Give me the Charlatans. Give me Oasis. I want it all. I love that stuff.
Well, see, I wouldn't call that early Britpop.
Well, you wouldn't because you're 92.
Yeah, that's like
But that's
you're talking
classic,
mid-90s.
That's like classic Britpop.
you're talking mid '90s stuff.
I'm talking late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, you're talking 90s Britpop.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember when we had
Anyways.
Britpop back in the
Yes,
1970s.
I'm not talking
and 60s.
1964. So, anyways, for that, I require a. I require it. I want a Gibson ES345.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Tony. I'm having it. I'm having it.
You
I'm
said
mad for it.
ES345,
Yeah.
but not
345.
55.
No,
45 still has the Veritone. I hate
Yes,
that circuit.
I want the Veritone.
Hate the
because I
circuit.
just like the chicken head knob on it.
What
And
about
that's
the
only
fretboard?
reason.
Does it have the square inlay and the
No,
more
it's got
fancier
the,
binding?
it's got the split trapezoid.
Okay. Okay.
Do that again.
Those are cool.
Those
are on my Duff,
cool.
man.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think I want it in white, actually, to match my other white Les Paul.
Gold hardware.
All right. No, not gold hardware.
You can play that at church then,
The Church of Rock.
It'll look innocent.
That will be going through an Electro Harmonics Memory Man to give me the big stadium sound. Yep. Into not a Marshall, a High Watt 100.
Whoa.
Hey now.
Going big time, man.
Hey now.
Wow.
That was what I just did. I can't actually.
Hey, now.
Can I say that? without
You can't
getting
really
sued?
say that because
I didn't.
I think there's a
Yeah.
guy on.
There's a guy.
Some unknown guy on New York
a big
radio
TV
station.
show. Anyways,
What?
those are my 2 rigs, which I was very excited about writing this down. I was like, ooh, yeah, I like this.
I do like the high. Well, you've got 2 very powerful amplifiers there.
Yeah.
And
But
loud.
they have singular sounds. Like that each of those rigs have their own thing going on, man. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, man.
All right. That was fun.
That was
I
awesome.
like doing that.
That was good.
Yeah.
Those are potent pairings.
Those are
indeed.
potent pairings.
Mick
indeed, yeah.
Ralph.
A pair of potent
Pair of
pairings.
potent pairings. Okay, we're going to stop saying that word. That's 2 words. Anyways, we're gone off the rails. It's a little bit late here, you guys, so hopefully you don't think we're absolute idiots. Maybe that gives us some street cred. I'm not really sure if we are, but we are going to end it right. No, just kidding.
Yeah, man.
Jared.
We got to do our...
Do your thing, buddy.
Would you rather?
Yes, we would. And it's just about Christmas.
That's it.
So let's just say you saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Nice.
Okay.
Underneath the mistletoe last night.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we know the song. You're giving us not like, are you guys gonna know this song? Say,
Well, they probably didn't hear you creep
Yeah.
down the stairs to have a
Yeah.
peek.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
They
Come on.
thought that you were
all
tucked
right,
away in
get
your
to it,
bedroom
get
fast
to it,
asleep.
Get to it.
So let's just say Santa, the jolly Saint Nick.
Yes.
He's got a big sack on his back, and there's 2 guitars in it. He's got the sack of toys on his back.
A sack of guitars.
Right. Now you've got 2 choices.
What would those be?
Would you rather have the Fender Starcaster, which I believe has the wide range pickups?
Yes, and it's offset,
It is offset.
meaning it's
slightish.
it's slight offset.
Yeah, it's just
It's semi-hollow too, right?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. And it's a nice large guitar and a big sound. Or would you rather have the Coronado? The Fender Coronado.
With single coil pickups.
Single coil pickups, not such a big fat boomy sound, but yet
More Rickenbacker-ish, if you will.
yeah, more Rickenbacker.
It's odd. These two are they often get confused, and they're very similar. It's kind of strange that they, well, and maybe not so strange because you could look at a lot of the models and be like, that's just a little bit different.
I want to say the
know.
Coronado was more of like an ES335.
It's
type.
closer to it.
It's
Yeah.
definitely closer to it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you would say the Starcaster was trying
It's
to
like
achieve.
it's like
its own
if
thing, man.
335 and a very large jazz master got married.
I can see that. With a boomy,
Just-
with
I mean-
high output pickups, yeah.
But the one that I
It might be
described-
illegal. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So Santa Claus has 2 of those, right? Well, he's got one of each in his sack, and
Yeah.
you got to choose which one you get
Are
because
they
that's
both
all he's
red?
got left.
What
man.
colors are they?
One is red, and one is white.
Did this Starcaster actually only come in natural?
No.
Is that the Coronado only?
No.
No?
They can't. I was hoping you would say Antigua.
Yeah, no, I know.
I
they
love the
Well,
Antigua.
I went with
finish.
white and
You really
red
only ever
because it's the
see
color
the-
of a candy cane.
I don't think I've ever seen a color one. I've only seen natural in the Coronado.
No. There were sunburst ones. There were
Oh, yeah, a lot of
natural. There
sunbursts.
were the Antiguas, which
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Now, okay,
and don't forget the
there are-
Wildwoods.
there are-
the Wildwoods.
What
there
are
are
you
a
talking
couple
about?
boutique guys making reissues of the Antigua look that actually look pretty good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you know the story behind the Antiguas.
That's an Antigua podcast. Let's
No,
do this.
just let me go
Okay,
on,
all
for
right.
God's sake.
Go through the rabbit hole for a while.
All right, let's go down the rabbit hole. So apparently, as I understand it, now the Antigua finish is kind of a whitish, creamy
it's
finish that has a kind of a khaki green
puke.
around
Border.
the outside
Yeah, it's
border.
the border.
Brown green.
Yeah.
So from what I've read and I've been told is
Not only on the guitar itself, but on all of the parts of
oh yeah, on the pickguard and everything. Yeah.
yeah, and the headstock.
So apparently, the Fender had some issues with when they routed the binding channels. They actually burned the wood, so they had to come up with a way to disguise the burn marks.
No kidding.
And that's how they came up with the Antigua finish. But they also, the Coronados also came in wildwood, which they injected birch trees while they were growing with dye. And there are some crazy colorations that they used on the Wildwood series. Check it out.
Fender's favorite mistake.
They
Antigua? Nah.
I like it. There's something about that Antigua finish.
Don't
that
sign
I-
me up for Antigua, man. Anyway, one is red.
So thus we digress.
right. One is red and one is white. That,
Which is which?
yeah. Well, Starcaster is red.
Okay, Starcaster, red Starcaster.
Yep. Coronado is white. I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me.
I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go with the Starcaster.
Really?
I think so. I just, there's something about that body shape. I like the bridge that's on it. The Coronados had kind of they would have had a tailpiece, trapeze tailpiece, and a bridge, whereas the Coronados had basically like a hardtail bridge, I guess you'd say. Mm-hmm. And then the wide range humbuckers, I think they're cooler pickups anyhow.
Oh yeah. Especially the original ones were the higher output, and they're very rare now.
With the copper ferrite magnets.
That's right. They don't make those anymore because the magnet companies just will not do it. No matter how many millions of dollars you threw in front of their face, they're not going to make those anymore. So yeah, I mean.
So I think there's they're both kind of the forgotten fenders, especially in the hollow body category. But I've always, there's something about Starcasters that I've really liked. Always really liked.
I've never owned one.
Jared?
Ooh, that's not an easy one. I'm going to fall back to the Starcaster too, man. Just because of the wide, mostly because of the wide range. Well, the offset, I don't really have many offset guitars. And I'm breathing. And I do like the wide range pickups.
Yeah.
That too. So those two things, the color red, the offset, wide range pickups, those three things have me wanting that Starcaster.
All right.
I tell Santa to put that thing in my stock.
Plus with Christmas and red and all the joyous things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a red Starcaster.
It probably not, but Santa had
okay.
them.
Santa
has them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make them in his workshop at the North Pole and stuff.
I wonder if that was a direct result of the iconic 335 being like red a lot.
Yeah.
Red
Cherry.
rum.
Yeah.
Red rum.
Anyways, I'm going Starcaster 2 because I like the headstock on a Starcaster, but more I dislike a I guess you could say a classic sort of Strat-ish style headstock on a hollow body. I can't do it. Don't like it. Nope. Personally, no
can do.
Don't dig it. The Starcaster just has a cool mojo to it. I like that subtly offset. I like the headstock.
The headstock is much cooler.
Much cooler headstock, and I'm with you guys on the wide range. I love wide range pickups. I wish more guitars had wide range pickups. So, I guess that's unanimous. Is that our first unanimous?
I think that might be the first unanimous.
It might be.
Yeah.
It could be.
So Santa, if you're listening,
bring it home.
Bring it home, baby. 3
Starcasters.
Starcasters.
Don't worry
in
about
red.
the Coronados, man.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
make those.
Yeah, the Coronados, just keep those up there at the North Pole.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we'd like to remind you that Reverb.com is a marketplace just for musicians all over the world. You can buy, sell, make offers, and negotiate with complete protection. Whether you're selling from home or if music gear is your day job, there are millions of listings online already, and it's free to list yours too. Join the musicians marketplace at Reverb.com. Hey, everybody, we'd also like to thank our executive producers for their support of our podcast, and we welcome Mason Green.
Yes.
We also welcome Sean S.
Thank you, Sean.
Yep, and then we've got Oliver Gonzalez, John Daly, Robin Smith, Derek Fitzer, Pete Marshall, Carlos Mancha, Matt Brammer, David Wolfson, Martin Cliff, and Tom Barazin.
My guy.
Thank you guys so much. Hey, if you would like to become an executive producer, head on over to patreon.com/theguitarknobs to find out how. And while you're surfing around on the internet, you can check out Jared at
Brandon Wound Pickups.
for
guitar pickups, man. For custom made guitar pickups.
We need to work on your ad copy.
Score and 20 years ago.
And you can find Tony
At pickguardian.com. Also on various social media outlets using the moniker Pickguardian and the number 1.
Yep. So if you've got a wild design, wild idea for your pickguard, he's the guy to call.
Tony and I work together on a lot of things too, so feel free to contact us both.
Yep. All right, everybody. I think that's pretty much subscribe.
Yeah.
Troy Van Leeuwen.
This time for sure.
Van Leeuwen.
I don't even know what you said, to be honest. They should.
Okay.
Todd is having a meltdown.
I gotta get through this. Okay, we gotta keep it to the pedal.
We're the one drinking.
Gotta keep it
Come
to the
on,
pedal.
man.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.